The Galactic Research Station 442 floated serenely on the edge of the nebula, home to some of the most brilliant minds across the galaxy. The Clarins, a species known for their extreme caution and scientific rigor, led the charge in the galaxy's most prestigious research ventures. On this particular day, however, they were about to witness something that would shake their very understanding of biology, chemistry, and survival instincts. Inside the sterile, gleaming white research chamber, a group of alien scientists gathered. They were observing the newest specimen, a human. Earth, classified as a death world due to its high-risk environment and lethal life forms, was home to a species that had baffled the scientific community since first contact. Humans had long since proven themselves to be anomalous, stronger, faster healers, and more resistant to diseases than most other galactic species. Still, the Clarin scientists believed they had only scratched the surface of understanding human biology. "Initiate the experiment," Commander HFY announced, her pale green tentacles weaving through the air with calm authority. The Clarin scientists adjusted their equipment, all eyes on the human, a volunteer from Earth, sitting comfortably in a transparent containment room. Dr. Ashar, one of the lead biochemists, leaned closer to the monitor. "We've synthesized a toxin from the indigenous flora of Zykril 9. It's lethal to most known carbon-based life forms. Even a drop could kill a creature the size of an Inari mammoth," he said, his beady eyes fixated on the human. The toxin was bright purple, swirling menacingly in a glass vial, held by a robotic arm that positioned it in front of the human named Jack. Jack, a tall man with tousled hair and a casual smile, looked more like someone enjoying a beach day than a subject of an intergalactic experiment. He leaned forward as the vial extended toward him, taking it in his hand. "For the record," Jack said, his tone lighthearted, "you sure this is safe?" Dr. Ashar replied, "It is absolutely not safe. We merely wish to observe your biological response to the toxin. Do not be alarmed if immediate symptoms occur." Jack chuckled. "All right then, bottoms up." He downed the liquid in one gulp. The Clarin scientist tensed, eyes glued to the screens measuring his vital signs. The toxin should have been devastating. Their monitors were calibrated to detect the slightest deviations in heart rate, neuroactivity, and cell breakdown. Nothing happened. 5 seconds passed. 10 seconds. A full minute. Jack sat back, wiped his mouth, and smiled. "Tastes like licorice." The lab fell into chaos. Dr. Ishar's tentacles spasmed uncontrollably as he frantically checked his instruments. Commander L's usually composed demeanor shattered as her appendages quivered in disbelief. "Impossible," she muttered. "He should be dead. The toxin should have caused systemic failure within seconds." "Check the readings again," Dr. Ashar barked. Another scientist, Yexel, adjusted the scanners, checking for any trace of error. "No malfunction, Commander. His vitals are perfectly stable. If anything, they're slightly elevated, but only due to amusement." Jack raised an eyebrow, watching the alien teams panic. "You guys look like you've never seen someone take a shot before." "That wasn't a shot. That was a bioweapon," Dr. Ashar exclaimed. "That toxin is fatal to any known life form, even in trace amounts. You should be experiencing neural collapse, cardiac arrest." Jack leaned back and tapped his chest. "Human liver's got this. Good OL, detoxifying organ at work." The Clarins looked at each other in shock. They had spent decades studying various species' biological systems, and yet here was a Deathworlder casually metabolizing a substance that would disintegrate most life forms at a molecular level. Commander HFY tried to regain her composure. Perhaps the dosage was insufficient. "We need to run more tests. Prepare the secondary toxin." This time, a thicker, more viscous fluid appeared. It was derived from the cryac vines on a world notorious for its poisonous ecosystem. The Clarins had used this substance in experiments before. Even diluted, it caused excruciating paralysis followed by death. The robotic arm extended another vial toward Jack. "Another one?" he asked, taking the vial without hesitation. "I didn't expect free drinks." The scientists held their breath as Jack downed the second poison. For a few seconds, nothing happened, but then his eyes squinted. He winced slightly, shaking his head as if shaking off a bad taste. "Now that one's got a kick to it," he said, standing up and stretching. "Might need a glass of water after that." The lab erupted in chaos once more. Scientists were shouting, instruments were beeping, and warnings of biological anomalies flooded the monitors. "How is this possible?" Yexel asked, his voice trembling. "The cryac toxin disrupts the very cellular structure of every known species. No creature can survive that. It's as though his body is neutralizing it faster than we can introduce it. Human biology is uniquely adapted to survive hostile environments," Commander HFY said, though her tone betrayed uncertainty. "But this defies all known science." Jack walked up to the glass, separating him from the panicking aliens, and tapped on it with a smile. "I think you guys need to redefine poison when it comes to humans. We got a bit of a reputation on Earth for, let's say, resilience. We call it building tolerance." Dr. Asar was on the verge of fainting. "You build tolerance to poison?" Jack shrugged. "Sure. Lots of stuff on Earth can kill you. Venomous animals, toxic plants. Even the water's not always safe. Over time, you just learn to handle it. Or, die trying." Yexel leaned back, eyes wide with realization. "You're not just immune to these toxins. You adapt. Pretty much. My buddy Greg once ate an entire raw pufferfish just to prove he could. Took him a week to stop hallucinating, but he was fine in the end." The alien scientist stared in disbelief. Commander Tell's expression grew grim. We have spent centuries perfecting methods of neutralizing threats with chemical agents. If humans can simply adapt to such extreme conditions, then our understanding of galactic biology is fundamentally flawed." Jack grinned. "Well, that's the thing about humans. We don't go down easy." Dr. Asar finally spoke, his voice trembling. "We must warn the Galactic Council. If Deathworlders like him can survive anything, the implications for interstellar warfare, diplomacy, and even coexistence are staggering." As the scientists scrambled to document their findings, Jack leaned back and crossed his arms, satisfied. "Maybe next time you guys can try something with a little more flavor," he quipped, turning to leave the containment room. "And let me know when you find something that actually works." And with that, the human walked out, leaving the alien scientists in stunned silence, their worldview shattered by the unshakable reality of Deathworlder resilience.